Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Still trying to put out some Final Fantasy content out here. Trying to put some Final Fantasy reacts. One of the comments actually told me to watch a crap guide to Final Fantasy by Joe Crap. I found three videos: a tanking one, a healing one, and a DPS one. This is the tanking one. So, you know, let's see what this is all about.
Fartness, I bet you don't have the slightest clue how to play this eyeball-melting anime
Yeah, I
game.
don't.
Oh, sure, you probably know that you can beat up enemies by clicking on them until they die, but do you know how to find a static in your FC to help you prog uwu? I bet you don't
What the heck? What is he saying? Those words
even
make
know
no
what
sense.
any of those words mean. So
Yeah.
sit down, shut up, and eat your gissel greens, because I'm gonna teach you what thee mayhap not knoweth, thy noobliness. Welcome to a crap guide to Final Fantasy.
Oh my god. Yeah, this guy's energy is like actually insane. I aspire to one day be able to give you guys intros like that. That was amazing.
The tank is the person in the front lines of every group, leading the charge to inevitable party wipes, which is
what
because
did that say? Me first, what Q times, big HP bar, I am the mechanics. So it's pauldrons. Of course, this is the only actual reason why anyone should ever play a tank, in my opinion, for the pauldrons. It's the big beefy shoulders. The big beefy shoulders and the nice big weapon most of the time.
Person in the front lines of every group, leading the charge to inevitable party wipes, which is because you are the most important person in the party, having slap fights with the boss since everybody else is way too squishy to handle the puss-pounding patty cake. You'll never see Jimmy's soft boots eyeing up the cloud of darkness with his 2x4 and scriggly tree branch. But how hard can tanking be? Turn on your tank stance, do your 1-2-3 combo, and blame the healers when you die, right? That sounds like somebody who needs their short Q privileges revoked. Firstly, tank stance. You turn this on to start gaining enmity. What's enmity? It's where you shout at the bad guys, "Hey, hit me!" They'll be paying attention to you so long as you're dealing damage, so you better be dealing damage and not just having a staring contest. If you don't, then they're gonna start indiscriminately charging at the rest of the party like a dog in a movie theater. If you are the
Is that actually how it works? Because like I've tanked up to 30 and I do one move, like one AoE, and they don't stop attacking me ever.
designated main tank, or in light parties the only tank, make sure
Oh wait, you can have two tanks? Oh, that's cool. It's like a World of Warcraft.
in light parties the only tank, make sure this is on. If there is another tank in the party and you are the off tank, make sure this is off, unless there's some other bad guys you gotta pull. If you have conflicting stances with the other tank, they will chuck their shoulder pads at you. As a tank, you should make sure the bad guy's ass is facing the party as often as possible, as indicated by the bright glowing half-eaten donut underneath the target. This is so that if the bad guys
Oh, that's what that is. I had no idea what the half ring was.
sneezes, you're the only one getting down with the sickness. And also, if your party has anyone playing any jobs that particularly likes to clap them cheeks, you've provided a bright, shiny spanking space. On top of this, as a tank, you are, by Heidelin's blessings, horrible at dancing, which is why you should move as little as possible once you've got the enemy's attention. That way, the party can continue to whap the wumpus without having to chase down the bad guy's glorious booty. Just as well, because you have control of where the baddies are, you control how useful everybody else is. So if somebody puts down a useful AoE, stop fucking running away from it. Now that you have the baddie's attention and are in a nice, cozy poking position, you don't have to worry about anything else, right?
Oh my
that's
god.
what I thought you'd say, you dumb fucking horse. Believe it or not, when you die, it's not entirely the healer's fault, just mostly their fault. That little bit of responsibility you have is based on how well you can juggle mitigation. What's mitigation? It's the buttons that make the bad guys.
Take a look at that graph. Didn't DPS hard enough? I actually feel like didn't DPS hard enough is usually like in other MMOs. I don't know about this one. It's a bigger portion. It's a way bigger portion. Like it's usually more DPS didn't DPS hard enough than healer sucks at high end content. Not like random little dungeons.
You have is based on how well you can juggle mitigation. What's mitigation? It's the buttons that make the bad guys' slaps hurt less that you sometimes press once a subscription and never think about again. You ever wonder why you have several of those buttons that all seem like they do the same thing? Well, that's because you're supposed to space them out over the course of a fight so the healers don't have to sacrifice their entire mana pool and firstborn child to get your frail ass through the dungeon. Remember not to bust your tanking load all at once, or else you're gonna feel a lot of shame when you're all out of juice and the boss still wants to go about 4 more rounds. Every tank also has a press X to not die button that can be used to survive any devastating attacks.
Wait, every tank has an invulnerability?
Used to survive.
Paladin, Hollowed Ground, invulnerability. Warrior, 1 HP. Dark Knight Living Dead prevents from going 1 HP. Wait, they actually all have it involved.
Any
That's
devastating
crazy.
attacks, or if you're a really aggressive paladin who drew every enemy in a dungeon ever and don't want the healer to hire a hitman on you. As for what your limit break does, tanks are thicker than the average Disney mom, to the point your honky chonky donkey bahonky extends to the rest of the party, protecting them from damage up to a whopping 80% at LB3.
Oh,
The
that
thing
is so
unless you're a
cool.
high-end player, you'll probably be using tank LB as frequently as a good player rolls high on loot. Overall, you have 4 flavors to choose from: punk, grunge, metal, and Christian rock. There's warrior for big axes, big anger, big self-healing, and if you like to do fell cleaves,
That's what I'm talking about. A big weapon.
If you prefer more brooding than cruding, the Dark Knight is great for doing your best guts impression.
I prefer
you
the
get a huge
Paladin.
ass sword, goopy black energy particle effects, and the literal best mitigation in the entire game. But it's balanced because they get the worst invulnerability button in the entire game. You press it and then it makes you die. Gunbreaker is called a tank, but everybody knows it's just 3 DPS in a trench coat, as designated by the fact you get a fucking gun and your swings explode. But you have to be a hardcore gamer since it requires a lot of cartridges. And finally, the Paladin, who tries to pretend they're a healer and caster, but
the best class in most games. They're the most holiest of knights.
only when the other healers and casters are looking. But fuck all that, because the most important thing is that you get the motherfucking sword and shield, baby!
Yeah!
Try getting behind this wall of holiness, bitch!
Oh, that's
now you know
so
how to play tank,
cool.
you're welcome.
Wait, is that actually a paladin ability? I hope so.
Because the
Yeah,
most
it is,
important
right?
thing is that you get the motherfucking sword and shield, baby! Try getting behind this wall of
That is such a good reason to play paladin right there.
Holiness,
How
bitch.
cool is that? You stand in front of a boss mechanic and everyone, I'm assuming people are behind you and take like less damage. How cool is that? How cool is a paladin? Jesus.
Now you know how to play tank, you're welcome.
Alright, that was good. I actually really enjoyed that. I didn't get anything informative out of it though. But I don't think I was supposed to. I think it was just a meme video, but that was amazing. Yo guys, I'm gonna link my Twitch in the description. I've been usually, apart from these last like 2 days, I'm usually live every night, just progressing through MSQ. I just hit level 40. My friends are telling me that I'm almost done with ARR. I've just been playing nonstop. Like since I started putting up videos, I've just been nonstop grinding. I had an amazing time. But I hope I see you guys in the Twitch chat. And if not, then I will just see you here probably the day after. I'm going to start trying to do daily videos. I hope y'all have a good day.